Hi, it's Teresa with Crafty with Teresa. Thank you so much for joining me today.
In today's video, I'm using a card sketch from the Stampin' Up! January through April mini catalog. We're going to create a fun fold Valentine's Day card. I know it's just a few days away, but I wanted to still show you this cute card, as well as I'm going to share some easy stamping, some masking techniques, and an easy way to remember how to make this fun fold card again and again. Now, enough of my chatting, let's get to crafting. First, we'll kind of take a look at some of the supplies that we'll be using. We'll go ahead and use, once again, the stamp set Endless Love. I've also got some 3x3 pieces of cardstock in white willow. Oh, and I grabbed some 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. I wasn't quite sure exactly which one I would need, so I grabbed them also. Now, if you have a stamping platform, this next step is easy peasy. By the way, if you're interested, Stampin' Up! Has a wonderful offer where you can get a Stampin' Up! Platform free if you sign up for the Paper Pumpkin subscription, which is a wonderful subscription. It's wonderful when you're making cards and projects that you might need throughout the year. Now, if you're interested in that, let me know. I'd love to help you with that offer. Now let's take a look at some stamping tips. First, we'll take a look at the sentiment. Now, I'm going to do this several ways. Now, for those that do not have a grid mat, here's an option for you. Here's a grid that I created, basically just drawing lines and laminating it. You can see because I drew the lines and then I turned around and hand wrote the numbers 1 through 6 on the bottom. But this helps me when I don't have necessarily my grid mat available. For those of you who don't have a grid mat, this is a good option. I'm just going to line that up. I know what I want to say in this sentiment. I want to say Happy Valentine's Day. But I'm going to do mine with just a twist. I'm going to use 2 colors. One will be a black color, and the other will be a red. We'll use Stampin' Spots in this example. Now, to stamp those sentiments, we're actually going to start with some masking, because I want the word happy to be black, the word Valentine's to be red, and the word day to be black. So option number 1, we're going to grab a Post-it note, we're going to cut it to fit right over that word Valentine's. Then after we've stamped it, we'll wipe it down so we can now add the black ink to the words happy and day. We'll stamp the words happy and day, leaving that Post-it note on the stamp directly. Hope this makes sense. Take a look. Once I'm happy there, I'll go ahead and practice it on my scratch piece of paper there on the right. Now I will tell you that option 2 and 3 I like better. Option 2, we're actually going to start with the word Valentine's already stamped in red first. Then we'll grab the Post-it note and line up the words happy and day. We'll remove the Post-it note. We're going to stamp the word happy and day first, but in the middle, we're going to put the Post-it note directly onto that cardstock. We'll stamp happy and day. This one didn't turn out so well because the word day did not stamp well. No problem. We have a black Le Pen. We can fix that. Our last option is we're going to stamp the word happy and day first, but in the middle, we're going to put the Post-it note directly onto that cardstock. We'll stamp happy and day. We'll remove the Post-it note and then add the word Valentine's. I like this option best because now you can see where to actually stamp Valentine's because you have already stamped happy and day. I know that was a lot, but hopefully watching helps you. Now let's take a look at the hearts. In the sketch, there's actually circles. That really just means some type of variation from the square in my mind. So I used hearts. Obviously, Valentine's Day, it's wonderful to go ahead and use the hearts. So I'm going to grab the heart from the Endless Love stamp set. Because I don't have any dies for this, I stamped the heart. Then, using some masking paper, then I'll cut the heart to create the mask and then cut a line in the middle at the bottom so I can easily take it on and off of our 3x3 cardstock. Next, I'll grab that heart that has the diagonal lines. I'll grab my real red ink and I'll stamp that right in the middle where that mask is. Now, I think that this stamps so well you wouldn't even have to put the two lines surrounding it, but I did it both ways. I think you'll like how this turned out. Take a look. Now, the last technique for our card today is we'll move on to the fun fold card. I cannot believe how easy this design is and that I've never done this design before. So I actually got the design by watching Kelly from Snips by Kelly make this card. So easy. First thing we'll do is we'll cut an inch off the side of our 12 by 12 paper. So that leaves us with that 11-inch side. We're going to take our paper and we're going to, on the 11-inch side, cut it at 5.5. Perfect, right? Because now you can get 2 cards from that. In this case, fun fold bases. Now we'll start on some scoring. Here's what I do to help me remember this card and make it easy to do again and again. I need to score at 3.5. For me, it's easier to rotate that card and score again at 3.5. That to me is the easiest way to do it. If you don't want to do it that way, you score it at 3.5, you move it to the left and score it at 7.5. Whatever works for you, whatever's easiest for you. Now, the next number I want you to remember is 2 3/4. We are going to go ahead and gently make that crease at those score lines. This will make sense in a minute. We're going to make diagonals here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the card base on the (5.5) side, and I'm going to put in pencil a little line at 2 3/4. Next, I'll do the exact same thing on the other side. Next, I'll show you 2 different ways, depending on what you have available, that you can cut those diagonals. First option is you can take the card base and you can draw a line from the 2 3/4 to the crease Then you can, on the other side, the same. Go to the crease where the score is, and now you have your diagonal. Now, option 2 on this fun fold is we're going to go ahead and line this up using our paper trimmer. Some people are more comfortable using some scissors. I prefer long blade scissors. Some people are more comfortable using the paper trimmer. Either one is fine with me. If I'm traveling and I only have the ability to take perhaps scissors in my bag, I'll grab those scissors and ruler and do it that way. I'm comfortable both ways, but some people are not. Now we'll do the same thing. We'll line it up. I did go ahead and use some removable tape to hold that down. I thought it would be easier to see it, but I'm not really sure it is. But I'll line up the pencil mark to that fold and then make that cut. I'll go to the other side and do the same. We'll go ahead and reinforce those fold lines, and now we'll get a piece to go inside our card. In my case, I grabbed some white willow paper and I cut it to 4 by 5 1/4. We'll put that on the inside of our card. Now we already know our sentiment, and what we want to do is we want to place that on the top, in the front, on the diagonals. And remembering that you only want to put your glue directly behind the piece, in this case, the left-hand side. Now, I intentionally did not use dimensions here because I know I'm going to be mailing this card, but you could absolutely use dimensions. We'll grab the glue and we'll place one of the hearts behind that square piece based on our design, and then the other one will be outside on the top. Now I'm going to show you a second card base, the second one that we cut here today. I folded it and I made the exact same fun fold, but this time I added on the inside a top folding card to that design. Now, I often like to mention some coming soon items. Coming soon, we'll have 2 scrapbook layouts that we'll be working on. One is called Beach Time Scrapbooking Workshop. The other is called Exploring Nature Scrapbooking Workshop. Then last but not least, I also have some masculine cards coming using some gears and texture dies and the Nature Walk 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. So wonderful and so versatile. I want to thank you so much for joining me. I hope you like what you saw here today and that you decide you want to subscribe. If you do, would you please like and comment and share? That really helps me a lot. So, stay tuned. More videos to come. Until next time, have a great day.